Recording. Okay, you guys, welcome to tonight's call. It is May 1st, brand new month. We have a brand new program launching tomorrow. And I don't know about you, but I am literally coming out of my skin excited. I think I told you guys before I didn't know how I felt about the whole program, and now I'm just like ecstatic about it. Everything about it is going to help so many people that we've already been able to help and people we've never been able to even remotely touch. So I'm so excited. So I have an event going on, and there are roughly 80 something people I think in there, and everyone pretty much is they're saying they're on board, right? And I don't know if you saw the post that I posted in our team page about presenting the coach part of it, because anyone who signs up as a coach gets access to Alana's group, which is huge. So just from a little post in that event, I have 4 coaches signing up tomorrow just because they want in this group, which is really exciting because, you know, I mean, maybe they'll work the business if they won't, but they're going to have access to this. So I'm presenting the whole, you get access to Alana, which would have cost you like $1,000 otherwise, right? Like if you were to go into her office and like get all she's going to give us in this group. So it's priceless. If they're going to sign up for a challenge pack anyway, they may as well sign up for the coach aspect, even if they don't ever want to work the business. So I don't usually sell the discount, but I am selling it right now because I think it's going to benefit people a whole lot by being in that group. And you guys, if you're not feeling like 2B Mindset is for you, get on board because it's for everybody. And just because it's not for you doesn't mean it's not going to be for hundreds of people that you know and that you can help. So sometimes I know we have programs and we're like, not so much. I'm not wanting to do it. This is going to help so many people. So regardless of how you feel for yourself, think about the people that you're going to be able to reach and touch. So if you haven't started getting on board with it, try your hardest to get on board with it now. It's going to be incredible. I'm really excited about it. Summit is like a month and a half away, or a little bit more than that. I've booked us a get-together for the team, and it's going to be 4:30 on Thursday for however long up until the actual opening ceremony. So if you do want to come, I'm going to put a post in our team page to reserve your spot. I just want a commitment of like $10 just so that I'm reserving head spots and paying for all the food and drink and stuff. So I don't want to overdo and I don't want to underdo, if that makes any sense. So just a minimal reserve of $10 and I'll cover everything else. Don't worry about anything else. Okay. So that, and then back to really quick, the 2B Mindset. I keep hearing from the test group and corporate and everyone that this is literally going to be bigger than the 21-day fix. So if they can't wrap your brain around that, then okay, so this is amazing for our business, amazing for a lot of people. So without further ado, I'm so excited to have Erin on the call tonight. She's obviously rocking her business, and she is an IG superstar, and I'm not. I see at it. I'm trying my best, but she was so gracious. She reached out and said, hey, can I do a team call? And I'm like, absolutely. So I appreciate your leadership. I appreciate you offering, and you just do your thing, and I'm going to shut up now.
Well, I saw a lot of people, especially recently, gosh, my light's bad, but I saw a lot of people recently posting about Instagram and their struggles with it. And to be real with you guys, all my business at this point is on Instagram. I hardly post to Facebook. Facebook is dying. It's dying fast. It's kind of like Snapchat did. I'm sure you guys are already feeling it. I felt it a while back, and that's when I decided to jump ship. And I'm really glad that I did. I'm going to go over some of the stuff that I have gone over in the past, and then I'm going to go over a few new things, and then I'm going to answer your guys' questions. So while I'm talking, if you guys do have questions, just jot them down, and I'll do my best to cover them, because I know Instagram, it's a beast. There is a lot of stuff on there, but once you guys learn it, I'm telling you, it is like today, for instance, I'm just going to be real. Today, the more consistent you are on Instagram, just like Natalie was talking about getting the coaches, just today from sharing my phase 1 results, I had 2 different people. I did nothing. I've never even spoken to them, not one time, never. And they switched to me as their coach. All they did was send me a message. They said, I want to switch. What's your coach ID? What's your email? Boom, 2 clients right there. I didn't even have to have a conversation with them. So that is the cool thing about Instagram, is that I'm someone, I'm a woman of few words. And so I like to do a lot of my speaking through my photos, which I think that is something that's really easy to do using Instagram as a platform. So first things first, I'm going to actually look at my Instagram and move down it just to show you. So for instance, I do have a challenge for all of you guys right now. I want everyone that has an Instagram and a story to take your phone out and take a picture of what we're doing right now. See what I just did when we were talking? It's really important for little things like this. So I just took a picture of the screen. I put team call time and post it to your story. It's all these little things that add up. Just your daily ins and outs. The consistency of what you do is what people want to see. And the thing you have to remember about Instagram is there is a reason that they followed you in the first place. So you want to be consistent and authentic to whatever that is. So whatever you're putting out there as you're starting to get those follows, you got to remember that that's what they're there for. So whatever, you're like, imagine a post that gets a bunch of likes. That's going to tell you that people are super interested in that type of a post. So you're going to want to definitely keep up on something along those lines in the future. Okay, so going down my Instagram, hold on one second here. The first thing first is your bio. So I'm just going to kind of walk you guys down the Instagram. Let's see if I can show you guys here. So the first thing that people are going to see is your bio. I don't know if you guys, there you go. Can you guys see that? So you have your name. You're going to want to give them a little background about yourself, plain and simple. Mine just says, health and wellness coach. I don't like putting Beachbody. Okay, you guys, this is so important. We are very overly saturated. I mean, we just have to be honest here. That's the truth of the situation. And I think that's why a lot of people probably struggle on Instagram. So unfortunately or fortunately, the second they see that, for some people, it's a turnoff. They've dealt with a coach in the past. They don't like the whole idea of it, and they don't know you yet. So that immediately will turn them away. So I just suggest putting something along like, online motivator, or, just something along those lines. Like for me, I have mine that says, recipes. I love saying, like, if you're married, you have kids, whatever, that right there is it's an easy connector with somebody, whether, you're married, you have children. Like I even put my fur babies in there. People love animals. It's little things like that. I also like including like where you live. So the last thing I have on mine, I live in the Pacific Northwest, is just where I'm at. It gives another people, if they see, oh my gosh, she lives close to me. Boom, there's another little connector. So right there, you've covered that. So you want to, really kind of give people a quick idea of who you are in your bio. The next thing is going to be, I've talked about this before, link tree. I mean, if you don't have a link tree on your Instagram, go and get one. It's simple. So you want to put anything on there that people, obviously we still do have our Facebook. So you're going to want to link like Facebook. I have, can you guys see that on there? I have joined my next boot camp, which takes them to the application. That right there saves you guys. If you're not doing that, you need to do it. It saves a ton of time. Just by somebody going and filling out these specific questions, you've already cut down hours worth of conversations with them by having them answer specific questions. So that one right there, that has become one of my easiest things. The other thing about it is I have a blanket email that I send to everybody. So I, fortunately or unfortunately, I know a lot of people like to cut to the chase. Some people don't. You should obviously, in your business, be able to kind of tell who needs a little more coddling and who's more like me and is like, hey, tell me the price, tell me where to go, I'm done. So you have to kind of learn your audience. But one thing I love to do on my post is say, drop me your email. It's simple. All they do is give me their email. I have a blanket email that I send out to everyone. I replace the name and I send it off. It takes me all of 20 seconds. I used to in the past, you guys, oh my gosh, I have bled myself dry trying to talk to people. You don't have to do that. That's what's cool about Instagram is there's so many different tools on there that will save you time and build your business without you getting overly burnt out. I guess that's the best way to put it. Okay, so you want to go on there like I have, connect with me on Facebook, join my next 21-day boot camp. I love to put links for things. Like I have a chicken recipe that everybody loves and they always ask about it. It's right in there. They can go right to my video on that. I can say, hey, go check out the link, which is really cool because then when they hit that, guess what else? They see all my other stuff sitting right there. So that's another thing. People love my music when I work out. I'll jump to that when it comes to the stories. They ask me about a playlist all the time. So I created a Spoon Me playlist. So they can go right on here. They can link right to my Spotify and they can follow my own personal playlist. That's a big hit too. So just little things like that that connect. And then I have it linked to my Pinterest page. I don't use it very often, but it's just another thing. You know, it's nice to have some variety in your link. Okay, so from there, the next thing would be to think about, I would say your first 6, if not 9 photos. That's what somebody's looking at when they come to your page if they're a new follower. So immediately they're going to see those top 2 rows. They're going to like it or they're not. So that's what you have to remember is it's really important. So like for now, I don't know if you guys follow me or not, but for now I have gained a big following of people just due to my consistency with the 80-day obsession. So what I've been doing every day is I do a post that is referencing my workout in one way or another, just to show I'm showing up every day. And then I also post my meals every day. So you guys can see that I've kind of done like a pattern. Oh, whoops. Hold on. I've kind of done a pattern on there, which I think just creates a fun visual and people are loving just seeing what I'm eating. And you guys, it's so cool to show our followers. I mean, I'm going to say a bad word, but that's a shit ton of food. And to see that I'm still getting results with all that food, people love to see that. So just things like that. I think the consistency factor, not only of what you're doing, but what you're posting is really, really important. And that's another thing too. You don't want to spam your page. So you want to really focus on, there's 2 things, quality over quantity. And then I always ask myself the exact same question every single time I post. What value is this adding to somebody's life? It's not my personal journal. It's not for me to just be like, hey, I worked out. Yeah, cool, I can say that. But did you work out today? Have you sweat today? It's not too late to press play. There's always something you can throw in at the end or the beginning, just to kind of pack a punch and give somebody something to think about. That's what I always try to do, whether it's going to make them comment or not. And ultimately in the end, you guys, you want to be providing such great content that they like take their friends on their own. You don't have to ask them. But that's another thing you can do. Ask them to engage. Ask them to take their friends, you know, until you get that ball rolling, involve them. You know, that's the thing about followers, you guys, they want to feel needed. That's the thing. They want to feel needed and they want to feel involved. So if someone makes a comment on your page, and I am guilty of this, comment back. It's very hard sometimes. Like I get a lot of it. And sometimes like when I have downtime, I'll go back, even if it's, you know, a week later, just to engage with them. So they know that, you know, you're not just ignoring them, because you will lose followers very fast. Instagram, that is one thing. They come and they go. I've never seen such fast movement. I mean, I've been toggling in this last like 100 spot. I watch it very carefully. And that's the other thing, you guys, is we do have insights on these pages. So on the top here, bars, I'm going to show you. If you go on there, it will show you, first of all, there's a tab for activity. It'll show you who your followers are, what time of day they're popping on, when they're the most active. So it tells you, it's giving you all that information of when you want to post. I can have a post that I post in the morning and it flies off the handle. I can have a post I put at 12 or 1. It's not going to hardly get anything. So that's something to think about. But it will also show you stuff like this week, I went down. It will show you your impressions. It will show you how many people you've reached. And then if you go over to your content, it gives you an idea of how many people are actually seeing your posts. So that right there is so helpful to you guys, because it gives you an idea of who's wanting to see what. You can just look at those numbers on there and know. And then my favorite thing would be your audience. You guys are going to crack up at mine. 93% women follow me and 7% men. Yeah, they know I'm happily married. That's what I always tell my husband. I'm like, hey, babe, look, you have no worries. Look at my followers. It's pretty funny. But that right there will also show you your followers. So it tells you, and it will tell you how many you've gained, how many you've lost. You'll lose them fast. It just happens. I mean, you just have to suck it up. Instagram used to be so cool. You get your followers, you keep them. It's not like that. I mean, you can go to bed one night with a number and you'll wake up the next morning and poof, a lot of them have disappeared. And I saw what somebody had asked, I'm jumping around, about spammers in my feed. I'm not really sure about that. There's one big company, you guys, and I'm just going to tell you all. If you get anything, there's like 1,000 profiles that have something like be first, be whatever. I report them every single time. I actually take the time because it gets a little, you'll see them, they're on everybody's page and they have tons, they're like an apparel company or something and they'll act like they want to sponsor you. All I do is I figure out where they are. Sometimes I let the comments sit if they're not anything that's that big of a deal. But a lot of times just to kind of get them out of here, you can just report them. And if you want to do that, if there's a comment on Instagram, there's a little heart to the side. And if you want to report, you swipe over. You guys see those? You can choose to delete a comment if you don't like it. And then that little caution in the center, that one right there, you can choose to you just report it as spam or scam. And it's simple. And they'll remove it right off your page. So I don't get a lot of spammers on my page though. I mean, honestly, it's very interesting to me. I don't get a lot. But one thing about that is you don't want to include in your hashtags like products because that's where you're going to get a lot of that from. So I don't put products in my hashtags. I know you guys asked, and please do not use my page as an example because I don't put my hashtags in the right spot. I have severe OCD and I am like trying to break it and put it in a comment, but it's hard for me. So you should, this is another thing I want everybody to do. Your hashtags can be the same every single time. You don't need to switch them up. So what I like to do is go into your notes, create your 30 hashtags, make them very specific. You don't want like overly saturated ones. You know, like fitness probably has like 50 million, you know, you want to break it down more specific to you, like women in fitness or, you know, something along those lines. You'll start seeing the numbers, but keep those. And so when you do your posts, you can just copy whatever your writing was, copy it, jump out of there, go copy your little hashtags out of the notes, bring it back and paste it in there. It saves you a ton of time. So that's one thing. You can do 30 hashtags. If you do 31, you'll post it and you'll have no writing. So be very careful with that. But what you should do is do your initial post. And then once you do the initial post, hit the comment button and then you'll put your hashtags there. So you'll be the first comment typically underneath your caption. So you want to keep those separate. And like I said, just use the same hashtags. You know, if you feel like you're not getting traction, switch a few of them out. That's what I do. You know, there's different ones that I use, but like when I've been doing the, Natalie, you're so funny. When I did the first one, like even the 80-day obsession one, I use the same hashtags, but like I'll switch them around, for instance, like now it's Monday, I'll take my last one out and switch it from whatever it was to Motivation Monday, or on Tuesday, Transformation Tuesday. So I definitely try to keep up with those little trendy ones because you will get traction on those days. So switch those out. Like the thing I switch on my workouts would be like, if it's booty day, leg day, you know, I switch that hashtag. I like to give people an idea about that. And jumping on that, here's one thing that Autumn said in our group the other day, and I loved it. I put it in my notes for myself. Share other people's results. Those people's results on Beachbody are gold to you. Who wants to just come see me? What if I have a 60-year-old? You guys, I have all ages, all sorts. What if there's a different body type? What if there's another age? They want to see it all. They want to see someone that didn't get that much of a result, and they want to see people that did. Good job. Yeah. Well, it can look sloppy. If you see what I do in the caption, I go down, I break up my hashtags. So people will do that, but truly you should put it in another one. So that's awesome if that's what you're doing. Yeah. Oh, that's so funny. So yeah, and you definitely want the hashtags, you guys. I mean, that's where you're getting all the traction from. That's where you're going to show up, you know, when people go to the Explore. And also remember, the things that you are liking on Instagram is where people are going to see you. So be very careful with the things that you like. And the people you follow, you know, you don't want to follow so many people where every time you go on, you're not seeing the same things. I follow a minimal amount of people. I follow the people that I feel give me the most benefit, you know, and definitely put your own spin on things. I think there's so many people trying to be so many people. You need to be yourself. I mean, truly, you are not going to get anyone unless you're just completely authentic to you. Show the raw side. Don't just show the highlight reel. I'm telling you, when I've been at this 3 years now, and just for the last 6 months, I finally am like, forget it. This is what it is. I'm finally freeing myself of myself. And by doing that, my business is completely turned around. And not that we don't hear this from everybody. I know we do, but practicing it is the hardest thing in the world. So here's where stories come in. It's cool to put your highlight reel on your page, but in those stories, give it all. I am not kidding you. Those stories are gold, you guys. The stories right now, you have 40% more business amp up in your stories than anywhere right now. And that is humongous. So the thing about stories is consistently showing up. That is literally the best way I can put it. Wake up in the morning, post. Make your coffee, post. Have your shake, post. So if you guys go and look, I use my story a lot and I get a lot of traction from my story. People like to see things that you use in the kitchen. They like to see what you do. And don't just show health and fitness, show the rest of your life too. They like to connect. Like, for instance, I was at my daughter's volleyball tournament for 2 days this weekend. That brings a lot of connection with all these other sports moms. So sometimes those things that you think don't really matter, they really do matter. I struggle with thinking, you know, am I annoying? I mean, I'm sure we all question ourselves sometimes. Like, am I too much? Am I putting too much in their face? Whatever. You're not. There's always somebody out there that's getting something from some. I question myself, and then I ask people all the time, like, are you getting something? And they are. So just, you know, don't doubt yourself. Be confident in what you're sharing. But definitely have a tone of who you are. You want to share who you are through those things. But on my story, I share everything, you guys. Share my dogs. I share my food. Yesterday was like a Monday, and I dropped eggs like on the ground. And just, you want to show your real personality. You know, engage with people that way. If you guys are unfamiliar with the stories, which I know they can be, there's a lot to learn. So what I'm going to show you is, like, I'm just going to take a picture right now. I'm drinking my Energize. So let's take a picture of my Energize right now, like I typically would. Okay. You guys see that? Okay, so I have that. Now, if you guys see this little, I honestly don't know how much you guys know, so I'm going to really show you all the things. There's like a little square up top that has a little face. We're going to click that. You're going to get all these fun little stickers and numbers and all of that. Use those. This is an eye thing. It's a visual thing. So right now I would say, like, I'm getting ready for my workout. So I'm putting Tuesday turn up on there. And then I would hashtag, I'll show you guys in just a second, Beachbody Performance. The stories are where you want to put stuff. So here's another thing, and I know that we're probably not there, but once you hit, hold on one second. Once you hit 10,000 followers on Instagram, they give you a really cool feature, and I'll show you. Okay, so this is like what my little post would look like. You guys see that? There you go. And they have an idea because every single day I post my Energize. So I don't have to like say, oh, what it is. They know what it is. And if they don't, guess what? They're going to send me a message and I get to engage with them. So what I can do, since I have that many followers, and this is something to really work towards, you guys, is it gives you a linking button. So I can link directly right with my coach ID to my Energize. So if someone sees me doing it and they are like, yeah, Natalie, I can see your face. So yeah, it's mind blowing. It's a really cool tool. So a lot of times, every time I post my Energize, I say swipe up if you want to try it, and I link them to the 10-pack, and it takes them right to my page. And if they order, boom, there's a customer. So it's definitely something Instagram gives you as incentive to work to grow. Yeah, it's a really, really, really big tool for our business. So when you have it, I link right to my app, so they have to do nothing when I say, do you want to apply, but to swipe up, and it literally opens the app for them. So that is something really cool. If you don't have that though, oh well, swipe up, leave me your email, say that, swipe up, you know, they can engage. A really fun thing is to like swipe up, drop the unicorn emoji. If they leave that, then you know they're interested. So, you know, just like fun little things like that. The live feature is really cool to use, you guys, for anything. Even if you're just like making a meal on Instagram, just pop on your live feature and cook a meal and talk to people while you're doing it. I just find that people really, really like when you are live. And I don't do it near enough, but they will definitely, it amps up your business on Instagram. The more features you use that are on there, the more you will be featured. So that's something to think about when you're posting. The other thing, your pictures need to be crisp and clear. I mean, I can't say it enough. There's a coach that I follow, and I love what she does. She goes through all of her coaches' social media pages every week and gives them constructive criticism. And I think it's a beautiful thing, because there is a lot that I look at where I'm like, oh my gosh, it breaks my heart, because that person just put so much time and energy into it. And the odds of it being seen are not very high due to the quality of the photo. And that's one thing, when I post my photos, I like them to scream me without me having to scream me. So a lot of times when people start seeing your photos, if you're consistently showing up and doing the same type of posts, they're going to be able to recognize you and your brand just by a visual. And that is really important when it comes to Instagram. So you really want to be consistent with your photos. There's some really fun apps. I know I've shared them before, but like Word Swag, Photofy. I'm trying to think what else there is that I use. I mainly use those two. Oh, and then there's one called Rhonna, which is Rhonna. That's another really good one. And another, it might cost, I think it does, it's called Photo Toaster. That's another really good one. And those are like photo editing apps. Some are just for the photos and some are to put graphics on. So those ones are really helpful. I think those are my most used ones. Okay. So let's see, I'm gonna go down here. If you guys have any questions, just, I'm gonna look at this chat really quick because I didn't open it up. Hold on one second. Okay. Yes, if you hashtag a photo, it shows up when people search that. The problem is they move fast, but still, how long can you do live? Like how long can it be? Is that what you mean for the live? Yeah, I don't know if there's any, I've never had it cap off. So yeah, you can do it. I'm trying to think about the things that are on there. I haven't noticed, you know, for a while there, people were really scared to use music on Instagram because there was, I think it was more a myth than anything, because I never saw anyone disappear, but it was being told for a while that using music, because you don't own it, they're very sticklers on there, that you couldn't use it, and everyone was scared and they were deleting accounts. Be careful when you use it, but every day you guys will see, I definitely highly suggest when you're doing your workout, oh, this is something important. Squirrel moment of the day, trust me, I have them all the time. When you're doing a workout, and this is on your story, it's the hands-free one. You're gonna see a lot of people hitting the button and then you run out. No, I'm gonna show you a trick. When you're doing your workout, get it all queued up. If you hold that button down, it gives you a 3-second walk away. So you don't have to look like a ding dong pressing your button every time. So by the time it starts, you're actually doing the movement. Because you guys, here's what's cool. I had a follower tell me I was doing it. And she's like, I hope you know you can press the button. I was like, that's what that is. So you guys, people will start reaching out to you. Trust me, my followers helped me a lot. I had no idea. I always thought that was such a nuisance when I held it. I was like, what is that? That's what that is. So it's kind of a hands-free where you can do your video. And I like when I do my little workout moves. Some days I make it about the move, and I'll, you know, people don't know what this move is. So, you know, like reverse lunge or something along those lines. Or other days I like to have a little motivational thing, like almost like a story. Like, if you think you can't do it today would be the first one. Now my next move is going to be, I know you can, you know, something along those lines. So right there, you're adding value, even though you're just showing up for your daily workout and your job. Right there, you just gave someone a little bit of mind food and they're sitting there. I always pack a punch at the end and say, did you sweat today? Because I'm telling you, right there, someone's thinking about it. So that's my number one thing. And I always tell people it's not too late. And, you know, show them the real side. I struggle. I tell them all the time, like, this sucks. I don't want to do it right now, but I'm doing it anyways. And that, I think, is the number one thing to share with your followers. This is not easy for any one of us. Yes, we get stronger, but I'm only going to say for myself, I don't think it ever gets easier. You just keep showing up and you keep learning, you keep growing, and you get stronger. And that's the same thing with running your social media, you guys. It's all the same. You have to show up. You have to show up. You have to be consistent, and you have to put in the work. And I'm telling you, it pays off. It does. My Instagram, there's been so many times I've been like, oh my gosh, I have to post again. I mean, I'm telling you, I create a monster in myself sometimes, but that's what makes my business work. And so you have to kind of wrap your mind around that. Is yes, it's work, and yes, it's going to take time. I won't say Instagram is not an easy beast to handle. I mean, it's taken me now, you guys, it's taken me a long time. I don't do any of those like follower things. Don't do any of those get likes and gets followers. It's all, well, I'm throwing pens. It's all a bunch of, it's a crock of junk. And you don't want followers. You like that. You want real followers. You don't want numbers. That's the thing too, is don't ever think if you have a post that maybe only has 1 like that someone's not seen it. Yes, they are. You have to trust. Just recently, I have 2 people that have been following me for 3 years, and they just signed up. So you can never, ever, ever give up on people. There's going to come a time in their life that something will happen and spark them to want to do it. Like right now, I have a gal that's followed me 3 years. Her daughter's getting married. That's all it took. Now she's in it. So you just have to trust, and that's why you keep reeling those people in and keep engaging and keep making relationships with them. It's just like inviting people, but you're inviting them through your consistency. That's how I look at it. I'm not a big invite person. So I don't follow all the Beachbody rules. I'm kind of a rebel. And I am. I won't lie. Sometimes I probably should follow them more. But I've just kind of learned what works for me. And that's what my best advice is. Learn what works for you on these platforms. And if you have questions, you guys, I'm always here. I don't have all the answers, but I have a lot of people that I ask too. So, I mean, that's how we learn from this is I've learned from my followers. I've learned from other coaches. I will tell you one thing. Some of the coaches, the bigger ones that I follow, they don't give away their tips and tricks. I've reached out many times and asked questions about apps and this, and they do not get back to me. I have one person that responded to me in 3 years. So that should tell you something. I'm gonna like share the wealth, but so I find it very funny. I've asked quite a few times on different little apps and stuff. Oh, there's another really fun one. It takes a little bit of time, but it's called Hype Type, HYPE. TYPE, and it's an app where you could record clips of your workouts and you can go on there and you can put the coolest graphics on there, you guys. They put like, you just have to play with it. It's one of my favorite ones. It does take a little extra time, but it creates a really cool visual. So, you know, if you want to, I do suggest too putting some videos in your feed. I've said that before too, is not that I am against it, but I think visually on your page, not buddying up a bunch of like workout photos together or food photos together. I like to break them up. Think of it as a beautiful flowing collage. That's how I try to think of my page is I don't want to back things up where it just looks clustered. Offer variety to somebody, you know, whether it's just even like when I look at my page and it's getting stacked up is when I'll go find like a quote that hits me and I want to share with people or something like that. So, you know, don't be afraid to grab something that's just as simple as a quote that hits you. I always think if it made me laugh or it made me really stop and think, there's going to be something. They love the funny ones, you guys. They love them. I mean, Natalie, I saw we had the Target one on. I did the Target one the other day too that you had about walking into Target. That thing got like 400 or 500 likes from that dumb thing. And I'm like, oh, there you go. I mean, you just never know. So it's all those things like that. Never, ever doubt. You guys, my page, go look at my page. If you want to take stuff off my page, take it. There's a lot of stuff on there that I'm sure you guys, and what you can do on the Instagram is just screenshot it and then go into your photos and crop it down to the square. It's really easy to do. So feel free to grab whatever you guys want off of there. Let's see here. Oh, if you're new to Instagram, this one's really, really important. If you don't have an Instagram account, you want to saturate your account with 5 to 10 photos from the get-go. You don't just want to post one. So if you don't have an Instagram yet, you need to definitely pack up a good amount of photos and get yourself looking. Like I said in the beginning, they're going to see those first, 2 to 3 blocks right there. So you want to make sure that you have that there. And if you guys don't follow me, my handle on Instagram is SpoonMe21daysstyle. So you can definitely go take a peek at my page if that helps. Okay. I'm going to look here on what your guys' questions were really quick. I don't know if I covered them or not. Okay. Okay. Yes. Okay. So the questionnaire, there is the site that I do for the app and it's called WUFO. It's WUFOO. And that's where I build my application for the boot camps. So if you go there, you can make a free application and you can make it. My suggestion would be to go onto a lot of the coaches' pages, hit on their link trees, go check out their applications and concoct one of your own. You'll get really good ideas from other coaches. They have some really good ones. Everyone does them a little different. Mine needs updating. You can look at mine, but it was my first one I ever did. And I look at it now, it needs some updating, but it'll give you an idea. Ask them questions like if they've done Beachbody before. I always update which boot camp I have coming up. They can say which one they're interested in. And a lot of times what I do, even with that, is I immediately, like I said, with that blanket email I have, I go, I read, I use one paragraph to respond back to them that's personal, just to answer a few little things, and then the rest of it's my blanket statement. Boom, just saved a bunch of time. So I just grab their email off the app. Most of the time, they're going to want you to respond by email. I mean, I rarely get, every now and again, someone wants a text message, but it's not very often. So I would definitely do the questionnaire. And they do really work. I'm telling you, like when I put the link on that, I see right here, it says, do they work? They really work. The days that I do the link to my application, I mean, there's been days I'll wake up and I have more than I would ever think that would pop in there. So But like I said, always offer the option of just dropping their email, because some people, they don't want to take the time. They don't want to take the time to fill out that application. So give options to people, because sometimes you might lose someone just for the fact that you're saying, fill out my application. They're like, I'm not doing it. Now, I do like to prioritize my application because people did take the time to answer them. So I will prioritize answering back to my app people before anybody else, if that makes sense. I just think that that's kind of like you took the time, I'll take the time, you come first. Okay, so quality followers. I honestly, that's a tough one for me. I feel like I do get quality followers for whatever reason that is. I don't have a bunch of, I think I do have coaches. I mean, I do have coaches that reach out to me, and I have to tell them all the time, you guys, because we all know or don't know that, if you jump ship with a coach, you can't re-sign up for 6 months. I have to break people all the time and tell them. A lot of people don't know that. And so I get that a lot of times messaging me if they can just jump around. And once they become a discount coach, that is how it works. So I have to kind of steer people clear of that. But you guys just get them, whether they're buying anything or not, I think we all know this, have them sign up with you as a coach. I mean, because the chances of them getting something in the future are pretty high. I've definitely had a lot of freebie people that have jumped in that have ended up being customers of mine in the future. I've even had people, you guys, I don't know how everyone runs their challenge groups or whatnot, but I've even had people like jump into my groups that have been in other groups. I don't know about other groups, and they like the group that, how the groups run. And that right there, I've had more people tell their friends and get them in there that way, just from that word of mouth and follows. That really does help. So, it's really what you're putting out there. I always like to, if you guys have once a month, I know that we're all trying to run a challenge group. So I'm not always going to do like a big advertisement. I do a lot more advertising for my groups in my stories than on my page. On my page, mostly, I'm going to put like, are you interested? Are you ready to make a change? New boot camp coming soon. Feel free to drop me a message or leave your email in the comments below. So that's more like how I work it on my page. In my stories, tons of details. I love to, and if you guys have seen people's stories, I don't know if you know, because I've had people ask me how they kind of layer over their story, and all of a sudden words, kind of go over as each story goes. All you have to do is take a picture. Okay, here we go. So take a picture of something or whatever your post is. So I'm going to do my Shakeology and say I put like that on there. So I did my Shakeology and I put a little lit sticker over it. So now, where I have my Energize in there, what you're going to do is there's a little save button at the bottom. So what you want to do is you want to save it, and then, and then post it to your story. And once you post it to your story, then what you can do is you can go right back on. Did you guys see? Let's see that little tiny square there that has the pictures? You just click on that. You can choose from your camera roll. So you guys don't have to only post from the pictures you take on IG stories. You can post from your camera roll. So that's really cool. Another thing is sometimes they don't fit. I'll show you the trick that I do. This is only on the iPhone, so I don't know anybody else's phones. But for instance, like this picture of my food that I took earlier, see how it has the black there? I just screenshot it like this. I keep that, and what's really cool, I like the black on top and bottom, so when I post it to my stories, it buys me room to write, and then I would repost it on there. So I do post photos that I don't take on my Instagram stories onto there, so you can go do like lots of those videos, even on that hype type, like I told you, and then you can go repost them on your story, and they'll have the music and the graphics and all that stuff. So offer variety as well on your story, just like you would on your page. I definitely think if you have a sense of humor, put it out there. People love that. So share your sense of humor. But the stories really are where it's at. And the other thing about your stories is that's how you get, another thing, I'm all over the place. If you're active on your stories and say you have a new post or something, like for me, like last night, I did my before and after of my phase 1. So I want to build a little excitement. I'm not going to give it away. So that last night I said, oh my God, you guys, I took my pictures. It's mind blowing, which it was. And just wait till you see. I had messages when I woke up this morning. When are you posting them? I can't wait to see them right there. And then I was able to message them back and say, guess what, girl, they're posted. Go check it out. So that's how you would do your story. So if I posted my thing, I would screenshot my page. Then I would take the screenshot of that page. I would put it in my story. I would take a sticker. That's those little graphics. Cover the square of what it is because you want to build the anticipation of what's there. You don't want to just give it away. And say, new post, go check it out. Right there. Someone may just be spotted your story in the Explore feed and they're not a follower yet. So they'll go from your story. They'll want to see what's there. They jump to your page. All of a sudden they're like, ooh, cool. I like what this lady's all about. Boom, follow. So that's how the whole story thing works. So you kind of want to build it up with people. Like in a poll, that's a great way. There's the polls in there that you can have people hit yes and no. Right there, you're engaging with your followers. You're making them feel like you care. I mean, one thing that's really cool that I've done before is ask your followers what they want. Go and do the polls. What would you like to see more of? You can do the poll, and one would say fitness. The next one would say my tennis playing, or you know what I'm saying? Something along those lines. Let them help you build your page. That's the cool part about getting the followers, because they're all so different, you guys. I mean, they are. So you want to get from them, like, what's most beneficial to you? That's like me, because it's tough for me sometimes. Like, do they want all my recipes? Is that all they want? Or do they like to see my workouts too? I never know. So unless we ask them, we're not going to know. It's just a big guessing game unless you're engaging with your followers. So that's, I mean, that's, I think that's Instagram in a nutshell. Is it all works hand in hand. The stories really, really are beneficial to your business. And then by using your stories, you can get the traction to get them on your page and build up a following, which then obviously we all know is a ripple effect, you know, because then people tag people, you get new followers, and you'll be able to build it. And just trust the process. It's just like these programs. It will build, I promise, but it is definitely, Instagram is, it's not like Facebook. It's slow going. It's definitely a little, I get frustrated too. So I definitely know how you guys can be getting frustrated with Instagram. Let's see here. You use the same font? No, I love that question. I use different font all the time. Switch it up. Give them variety. Every time I'll even think, oh, I just used that one on the last one. I'm switching it up. That's definitely something to think about. Different colors, different fonts. And there's really cool things you guys can do on there. Play around with it. Even if you don't post the picture and you just delete it, just take pictures and start doing graphics and play. You can, you know, use the little, there's like a little pen button, and you can use your finger to like do designs, and you can write in your own writing. There's just so many things that you can do on there. Just play around with it. That's how I've learned to do it. It's just playing around with it. Let's see. Yeah, running. I love whoever said you're running away from the video. Yeah, the video is easy, but how many times a day? So right now, I post 3 times a day. I do, I call it my random post of the day. You never know what it's going to be. I don't know what it's going to be. And then I do 1 workout post, and then I do my food post. That's kind of how I run it. And then the rest of my life is all in my stories. That's kind of my MO. And I like that because 3 posts a day gives a new row each day. So people want new stuff. And trust me, if you're not posting consistently, your followers, bye-bye, they leave. They want consistency. They want, it's the excitement. They want to see that little circle around your story. Oh my God, she posted a new story. What's there? That's how you want to build it. You want them coming back, hoping that that little highlighted circle is sitting there so they have something new to watch. I mean, it's real. I have people tell me this all the time, and I'm like, that sounds so dumb, but it's true. They love stories. People love it's. I mean, my daughters, this will tell you. I have like women in my group right now that are in their mid 60s. And then like the other day I had a volleyball little bonding night, and the girls walked in the door and they were like, where's your fitness workout area? And they're like 13, 14 years old. So, I mean, that will show you how huge, that there is a huge number of people watching for all different reasons. You know what I mean? As much as I know these little girls are just watching me because I'm, you know, somebody's mom that runs this thing, they're learning and they don't know it. And that's what's really cool about it. So just that little thing. I mean, I watch my daughter all the time, just like, we know the ripple effect is even watching, she loves, like she said to me today, oh, you're doing a call. I love watching you do that. So just those little things, you're not just helping your followers, but you're also like, you're helping everybody around you. And I think that just building the confidence off that, when someone says they're helping you, like today, I went to a volleyball tournament this weekend, and it was somebody, I was just doing my 80-day obsession. I had my food, I had my water. She reached out to me. She still hasn't signed up. I will guarantee she's going to though. And said, oh my gosh, she motivated me. I went to the grocery store on Sunday night and food prep for the whole week. I was like, woo! It made me so excited. And that was nothing more than just talking about it. You know what I mean? I always wear like a Beachbody something when I'm out and about, you know, throw a hat on, throw something on. There's just little things. Because that's the thing. Like, I'm active on my story. So if I'm rocking some Beachbody gear, like right now with my Obsessed, it's simple. People don't really know what it is, but the people that do, it sparks an interest. So it's all those little things that add up. And people, here's what I always say to people when they ask me, your story, it's your own reality show. So just think of it like that. People love reality TV, so why would they not love your story? And that's how I look at it, is like, it is, what do I like watching? I mean, think about the dumb Kardashians. There is like literally people just watch their life if for whatever reason there is. So there is something that you have in your life that I guarantee people are going to want to engage with. You just have to find that thing. So just think about, keep sharing. And when you get messages about certain things, share products to you guys, like kitchen gadgets or, like an exercise thing. People love those type of things, and at that point, what I'd like to do is I always like to help them. If they say, where'd you get it? I don't just tell them, I give them the Amazon link. You know what I mean? Make it easy. People are coming to you. Everybody wants something for free. They do. They want the easy breezy, hello. That's everybody wants the overnight thing. Even when it comes to things like this, they want it right now. So give it to them, because guess what? They'll come back more. They'll be like, cool. She took the legwork out for me. I'm going to go back and I'm going to ask her more questions. And it's all those things that, like I said, you think don't matter, they do. So sharing your stories, honestly, I'm going to give you guys a challenge. I'm going to put a post on Posh when we're done, and I want you guys all to put your handles. And by like midday or tomorrow evening, I'm going to go check all your guys' stories. And I want to see what Natalie, your face. I just want to see what they're looking like, and if we're moving in that direction. So give yourself, it's like a one-day goal, like just to be active on your story, and let's see what happens. See if you get people to engage. See if you don't. It's definitely a little bit of a job, but you start learning the traction of it. And don't just post like 3 things on your story. I definitely, like, when I feel like that's a dead story when I go to someone's, because I don't know if you guys notice the little dash marks on the top of stories tell you how many stories there are. So when you see those big long dashes, they're just like 3 stories. When you see dash, 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 that means those are all individual stories. I love going to the people that have a bunch of them. You know what I mean? Some people overshare though. I will tell you that, like the graphics, I share like a couple graphics a day, but I definitely, and this is just me, take it or leave it, I don't like when they're butted up unless they work together. Does that make sense? Like if you're putting something and it bleeds into the next one, great. But when I go on and someone just does like 5 or 6 of those quotes from like Pinterest in a row, I exit off their story. So I just like think of things like that. So we're going to put a picture in between, or just break it up a little bit. It's kind of the same thing. Don't overkill, because I just think that's a turnoff to people, is when you overkill things. So try to have a good variety of things. I definitely try to mix it up all the time, but I post like about my Energize every day. And I don't know if you guys follow me. Some days I take shots, some days it's in a cup. Even that, I offer variety. I show them different ways that they can do it. So it's things like that. I even try to make my posts different. Even though it's about the same thing every day, I'm going to give it a different twist of a look, in your photo. Put a different graphic on it, do a different hashtag. You know what I'm saying? Just do something a little different. Even though it's consistently going to be similar, you can switch it up. And that's the thing, is you want people to, I just always go back to like my days of looking at magazines, like old 17 magazine back in the day, and cutting out pictures and doing it. You can make it fun like that. You know what I mean? And you can make it engaging for people, and people like seeing creativity. They do, they like those things. So, Instagram already gives you those stickers and stuff to use. Just utilize them. You know what I mean? Use what they give you. That's how I look at it. Okay. Negativity. Oh, that's a good one. Honestly, I had one the other day that literally, I'm just going to say it like it is. Underneath, it was like the most positive post. And here's the comment, bitch. And I'm like, oh, whoa, I didn't even say anything. And that one, it wasn't that I wanted to get rid of it, but I really hold a positive space on my social media. The only reason I get rid of things is I don't like it there. I'm a big believer in negativity breeding. And I feel like when it's there, it breeds it. And I don't like that. So I get rid of it for that reason. Some people just leave it. Definitely, I'm going to say one thing: do not engage with it. Do not fuel freaking tank of a fool. I am telling you right now, do not do it. It will cause, I've seen some of the bigger coaches lately do it. And I'm like, here's how I feel about it. That's one thing we work on personal development for. Who cares? Bless and release. Let them go. Like, who cares? If they're going to be like that, it's their own issue, you guys. And so there's nasty trolls, but to me, just get rid of it. Get rid of it, because if you leave it there, it opens the door for your followers to engage with it as well. And I just don't think it looks good. I don't get it a lot though. I'm going to knock on wood right now. For some reason, I don't get a lot of that. So, I don't use the location feature in there, but I have before. I have when I'm at other places on the daily. You have to be a little bit careful, because you guys got to remember, like, say if you're at home, I see people just put like the town or city. Well, you're putting that, but it's your location. And so be very careful with that. Like, for instance, like even me, I have 4 kiddos. I don't put my kids on my story a lot, and I definitely don't tag them. I don't like to gear people towards their pages at all. I put them on there like, this weekend was volleyball and whatnot, but I'm very careful what I put on there. I mean, we live in a nasty world, so you just want to be careful about certain things like that. I am definitely, I would say I'm more on the careful side of things. Even things like you guys got to think about in the videos. You don't want your mail in there. You don't want addresses. You got to be careful about things like that. People sometimes don't think about the little things that are in like, oh, my Shakeology came. Well, your Shakeology box has your address on it. So those are the things that you want to be really careful about, because there's weirdos out there, you guys, and they're lurking out there. You do not want to attract that. So I just always go, I just always am a little bit careful on certain things like that. I loved what she said. Yeah, I don't feed into it, but yeah, just get rid of it. Negativity. I don't know. I just think that we're not here for negativity. I think our job is to bring positivity out of people. So there's no space for it. And you will get people here and there. I do a business account on my IG account. I think that you get more tools by doing that. So like the insights and all that. Oh, that's another thing. On your individual pictures, you see where it says view insights? That's the business account. So here's what's cool. It tells you how many people it reached, tells you how many people saved it, tells you all the comments on it. So you can really start to get an idea of what's working for you and what's not working for you. I always crack up, you guys, like when we're women, I'll go on pictures of just like myself, like who would ever want to share it or save it. My daughter, she's always looking, she's like, Mom, someone saved that photo. And I'm thinking, oh boy, I don't know. That's what I'm talking about. There's weirdos out there. They'll save your photos. So, but it gives you, that tool is really cool to view your insights on your stuff. In promoting, okay, I'll go to promoting. I've done it like twice. I don't see a huge payoff in promoting. I'm just going to be real, like for what it is. I mean, if you have something that you really think, they won't let you share anything like a before and after. You can't do like your results. They don't let you share that on Instagram. It's against all their rules. So trying to find something, but if you do have like a post that like is going crazy, I would promote it, because that gives you an idea, and it's not expensive. And it's a write-off, you guys. It's not expensive, but I would definitely promote something that is getting a lot of traction, because that tells you that that's, relating to a bunch of people, which then means it's going to relate to a bunch of other people. So right there, you can use that. So, if you get something that starts flying with the likes and whatnot, then I would definitely take the time and energy to do a little promotion on it. Let's see. Anything else? I think that that's kind of everything that I have on there. I can't really think of anything else. Like I said, I'll just I will work on, you guys, making a little graphic that has a lot of the basics on it, because I think I'm such a visual person. I'm just looking at these and I can make a list of these, and I think that it would be super helpful. I mean, even for you guys to share with your new coaches. So I'll work on that. I will, by the end of the week, I will have it done. Because I just have like lists here. And do you guys think that would be helpful if you had something like this to reference? Okay. So I'll make something like that has an idea of what you can do, because it's always good to like reference back to. Because I take notes for myself too, just to look at. But all the time, like I said, I really think the most important thing is to be consistent when you're posting, and then question, am I adding value to somebody's life? Or a call to action. We all know, a call to action to get people engaged as well. So, but there needs to be something more than just like, day 1 out of 80, I worked out today, yay. Okay, well, you know what? 500 other thousand Beachbody coaches did too. I mean, that's just kind of unfortunately the cruel world of how it is. So there needs to be a little bit something else. And here's the other thing. Do not compare yourself to other people. I am guilty of this. Today, I was reading a post and it was so damn good that I was like, oh man, that is good. That hit on everything with me. I wish I could write like that. And I'm like, okay, hold on. I cannot do that, because for her being her, I'm me. And that's like what you guys have to do. You have to be true to yourself. It's so easy to play the judgy game, especially with, I looked at someone's account the other day and I had been following her for a while, and I knew her account went crazy. I think she had 50,000 followers the last time I looked, and this time she has 616,000. And I was like, ooh! And all she shares is like meal prep all the time and like comparisons. And literally she has over 500,000 followers from it. So that right there, she found her thing. I followed her forever. For the longest time, she, was doing okay, and just all of a sudden found what was working and got people talking, and boom, there you go. That's all it takes, you guys. And truly, here's the other thing about Instagram. All it takes is one post. Look at someone like Foodie Girl Fitness, you guys. I mean, bow down. The girl did one viral post and her business completely skyrocketed. So, I mean, that girl's landing like Success Club 300 every single freaking month. And that was from when she had this one really, really powerful post. It turned everything around. Look at Emily Faber Fit right now, sitting in the top 10. Are you kidding me? All due to her 80-day obsession results. So yes, we work hard, but sometimes it takes that one little thing to skyrocket you to where you really want to be. And you guys, you just got to believe in yourself. I mean, it's just like the business. Believe in yourself and believe in your page, and really trust and believe that it's reaching people, whether they're engaging with you or not. And eventually it will happen, but just work hard to get them to engage. I think that's about it. So I'm drinking my Energized because I still have to work out tonight. I know. Good old 80-day obsession.
Oh, you're doing amazing. Oh, gosh.
It feels so good.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. And I know you weren't even going to do it for a while, and you actually.
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure that I have a torn rotator cuff right now. And then my neck, yeah, I've been going to the doctor for a while, and we're starting to figure out that that's what we think it is. But in my neck, it gives me a run for my money, but there's certain ones, and I've had knee surgery too on everything. So I just modify, you know, we've been doing this long enough. I just take a different move that's similar and I make it work, and it's working. Wow. This program, oh my God, it's crazy town.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah, so I hope that helped you guys a little bit. I know I was like all over the place, and I will work on this. And if you guys, I say it every time, but don't hesitate to reach out to me. You can send me any message. I will do my best to answer it. And don't think anything's dumb, because I ask my kids all the time. So yeah, I'm like, oh, you guys, they show me features all the time that I would have never known about. So ask your kids, you guys, that is the thing. If your kid uses Instagram, they probably know more than you do.
I'm going to definitely do your challenge. I don't know what my problem is with stories. I'll overthink it. And so I'm just like, I'm not going to do anything. So I don't even know like what to do.
Don't overthink it. I mean, that really is a good thing to say, because don't overthink. I do it still sometimes, but it's like, even like me waking up in the morning, we live on a lake, and I take like a sunrise photo or just something. I get just chatter, like, where do you live? Like, people just love the little things. It's all the things that you're not thinking. I mean, my dogs, I might as well have an Instagram for them just from putting them on my story all the time. So it's things like that I mean, I had someone the other day, I was live, and this will tell you because my dogs are on there, and they said, where's Lou, my dog? And I'm thinking, I would have never thought that they'd want to see the dog, but they did. So it's little things like that will, you'll start realizing what your plan of followers wants the most by continuing to post and then getting their, getting them to engage with you. Yeah, don't worry about the interaction, you guys. Honestly, I can't even tell you how many people that I've had jump out of the woodwork that you just don't think they're following. I have people, like, I even go back on my story, and you guys can see on your story who's watching it. So that's another thing too that I like. Some people don't want to leave a message. You can do a poll about like your upcoming challenge group. Like, would you be interested in more info? And even if they hit yes, you can go and look at see who said yes, and then you can message them. So there's a lot of really, really cool tools.
I'm sorry. I just have to say something. I was like, oh, I have messages. Like, I didn't even know where that was until the other day. And I'm like, oh, there's a little button here. And like,
okay. So you guys, she's bringing up the best point. If you are not connected with a follower, if you do not follow them back, or they have not talked to you before, well, I actually have the message there, so this is perfect. See up here, you usually have, it looks like a little paper airplane. This message is because I've engaged with someone before. So I know that I've engaged with them, but you see where it says 26 requests? Those are all from people that I have not engaged with. So like if I go look there, look at all these messages sitting there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So that, you got to look there. It will not alert you either. It does not tell you have messages there. So check it consistently, especially if you're doing a call to action on your story. Keep actively checking that, because that's where a lot of people will trickle into to ask questions when you ask them about engaging. But yeah, that's there. So everyone go look at it. You might have messages sitting in there. You never know.
I didn't even know that there was a message thing. Like, not even like this, not even the request one. I didn't, like that people that I was message. And I'm like, oh, hey girl, I'm sorry that you messaged me 2 months ago.
It's the truth, but yeah. And that's the other thing that's really cool about that is you can do, like, in the specific messages to people, you can just take, like, I have people ask me about products, like when I'm cooking, and you can go right in there, and without having to, like, you can just take a picture and it goes just to them. So you don't have to be like taking it elsewhere and whatnot. So like if someone's like, oh, what turkey bacon are you using? Boom, picture, send it off. So that makes it really easy. You can share photos in there too. The other thing about the messages, and I don't think people know, is there's, when you go on other people's pages, there's the 3 little dots. You can, if they have the feature allowed on there, you can share other people's posts or stories in messages. So if there's something that like, you know, looks like, not only that, you guys screenshot their stories. I do that all the time, and then use some of their ideas of what they put on there. So if you just screenshot as you go through someone else's story and then look at, obviously make it your own, but it will give you an idea of like, I love like getting ideas for wording. I go brain dead all the time, you guys. I will like say to my family, oh my gosh, you guys, this is what I want to say. Please help me. I run into walls all the time. Go find inspiration somewhere. And here's the thing. When in doubt, go like Google, honestly, I'll go put like into Google, like about the day, like, I don't know, leg day quotes or something like that will engage and give me something. And a lot of times when I'm really dead, I'll just use like a statement from somebody or a quote, you know, and put some little emojis around it. And then I'll do my little hit it home line at the end, like something simple. It doesn't have to be long all the time. And that's another thing. Don't be wordy all the time. Because I have my own kids and people say all the time, Mom, I didn't even read that. Like once I see it's longer than whatever, I'm not going to read it. So unless you really feel like that is going to, someone's so involved with it, the chances of them reading one of those really long ones are not really high. So that, you know, it's scrolling. I think that's why people like stories. Quick and easy, and they move. And they only last for 24 hours. So remember that. Now, one thing though, dun, 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 I use this tool. When you go to your page, you see that little arrow type thing? This is what's really cool, guys. It saves every single one of your stories. So you can go back, if you did one of those big layers, like what you get in my group, like-minded women, this and that, I go and grab my old ones and it lets you post from your archive. So you don't have to do the work. It's just saved for you right in there. So you can, it's a really nice tool to have to go back, because I'll tell you, some of those graphics that I make, they can take a lot of time. And you know, time is money. So you want to be able to just reuse. Sometimes I just change the color of them, and you can even like relayer graphics over the top, but reuse your stuff. I mean, and that's the other thing too about Instagram, you guys, if you're doing something like, say if you wanted to, if you're just like out, like Natalie, I saw for instance, you took photos the other day, like of all those photos with or without a photographer. If you have a day that you can do a stack of photos and someone's there to help you take them, change your flipping outfit, move some locations around, and go bust out a couple hours worth of photos that you could use for the next 4 months. You know what I mean? You can change the wording with them. You can make them black and white instead of color. You can save a lot of time. I'm the queen of wasting time doing some of these posts. So like I've learned that if I just like stack, and you can reuse posts, just switch them around a little bit. You know what I mean? Like I repost recipes sometimes if they've been a hit. That's okay. Just don't do it close together, you know, or make them look a little bit different. Sometimes I even turn the direction just in one of my apps. Like if I'm looking one way, I turn it another way. I mean, you can do little things that make them look different. I see coaches do that all the time. So I hope that helped you guys. Yeah, I can't think of really anything else. But yeah, that message thing, thank you for saying that. That's something I should have thought about. Oh, I know one thing that I don't use that's there is story highlights. I just haven't gotten to the point yet where I have gotten organized. So what you can do, like for instance, like I was telling you my link tree, I have my baked chicken recipe. I also have like a few stories saved that are my baked chicken. So I should probably on my story highlights I call it no rhyme or reason baked chicken. I should have a little highlight for that so people can just hit on those. That's kind of like, here's the story highlights. You know that funny commercial that they say hit the easy button? The story highlights are hitting the easy button. It's everything right there where they don't have to like search for anything, and it has the title of what it is, and boom, they click there, and it's pretty specific to what they're looking for. I just haven't done it yet. I need to do it. That's something I need to do. Another thing. So, but I mean, that just shows you guys that Instagram, look at how many things we just went over. It's a lot. There's a lot. So start with working on your bio, make a link, and then work on, I would say definitely 3 posts a day, just to give some variety and consistency on your page. Challenge yourself for the next week. That's what I would say. It's going to be work. I'm not going to say that it's not. But even like for the first week, go grab some of your old stuff. You know what I mean? Use something you used before that you have that's maybe on Facebook that you don't have on Instagram. That'll save you a ton of time. I am always going back and copying and pasting my wording, you know, and switching it up or whatever. So if you used it on Facebook and it was beneficial, go put it on Instagram. That would be my advice.
I feel like time hop too on Facebook, from like a year ago or whatever, and it was like a really good post. You're like, oh, and that was a good picture. Okay, we're using that. That's an amazing thing.
Same type of thing. I would just say, especially if you're just building up your Instagram, I would definitely go onto your Facebook and grab stuff and barf some stuff onto your Instagram. Just get it looking visual. Because people, it's funny, I've actually even like tested my ways of doing it and created fake accounts just to see if it works. I'm not kidding you. That's how sometimes if I'm like getting a little dead, I'm like, what's working? And I've been able to build it's honestly, you guys, it's the pictures you post. You definitely want them to be colorful, bright. Use the tools in there. You can tweak up your photos on Instagram. They have all those filters. I would definitely say more crisp and clean and bright more than those muted ones, unless that's like your thing, unless that's your brand. If your brand's going to be kind of the muted photo, knock yourself out. I definitely think eye-catching is what will get people on Instagram though. So that's what's worked for me at least. I think that's it, Bill.
Thank you. I'm definitely going to be re-listening because I took a ton of notes, but that doesn't mean that I got it all.
I was all over the place, so I definitely hope that there's some stuff though that you guys can grab from that and build on. And like I said, I'm gonna check your stories, so I will. Once we get off this, I'll put a post in the group, and then you guys can let me know what your Instagrams are, and I will go check them out. And like I said, feel free to check my Instagram out if you guys want to. Let's see, my story is it's so right now, but you'll see. And that's the other thing too, is like, if your kids are involved and that's part of your life, definitely try to put them on there. And they're like, my daughter loves to cook like I do. And people really like to see that, and other people do it. And like, I even have, like I told you about the dogs, like imagine a stay-at-home mom with toddlers that just like to come for your watching. It's like a show to them. Like I people say, oh my gosh, my little one wants to watch your, like Natalie, I think about you with your little guy all the time. Like that's an awesome thing to, you know what I'm saying? It's a good way to connect with people. So
my little guy. Hi, baby.
Share your hobbies. Share, things like that. And, obviously any Beachbody stuff that you're at event wise, all that stuff, you're going to want to tag where you are, all that type of stuff. So, and when you post your stuff to tag the big, tag Autumn, tag Carl. I'm always tagging people in my stories. Chris Downing's the best though. I will tell you guys, he engages every time when I put stuff on stories. He's a cool guy. He's the #1 person. He always messages me when I tag him on my stories.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So, there's ones that you'll find are definitely more engaging than not, but you never ever know what you might post, and then maybe they'll share your stuff and boom, right there. That's ultimately what you guys are going to like, honestly, where a lot of my followers, and I won't lie, like when I first started, they were a lot better at sharing people's stuff. I'm sure Natalie, like they would share people's food pictures and this and that. They don't do it much anymore. That is where I gained a lot of traction. I got thousands of followers from 21 Day Fix sharing my food photos 3 years ago. So don't think that like this is something, I've definitely been pounding the pavement lately to get hardly anything. But you do never know. Like sometimes if they do share like your Shakeology photo or whatever, you'll get a nice little chunk of followers from a share. So, and that's the thing too, scratch each other's backs, in your stories, you can put somebody else's stuff and say, go follow her. Like we're all in this together, and you might get that back from the other person. So, and if you post something that's important, they'll say, go follow Natalie. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden you have followers. So it's all about providing them with something of impact, whether it's a recipe or something. But like the other thing is too, just like I said, if we're doing a program, share your results. I mean, like I will tell you, this 80-day obsession is the first time that I've sucked it up and taken those mirror photos that I don't like taking consistently, like every 2 to 3 days, and put them in my story. So people are really riding the journey with me, and it's huge. It's huge. So you just got to get over yourself on those. I'm telling you, I'm working on it. I'm working on that. It's letting people grow with you. I mean, really let them feel like they're part of this with you, and you working through yourself, and then they can work on themselves through you doing it. I mean, that's what they're looking for, is what are you doing? Can I do the same thing? Yeah. And that's it, you guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys so much. Yeah. Get over your damn self. Exactly. I love it.
It's my favorite. My all-time favorite. We've lost some people. Let's go ahead and take a picture before we lose anybody else, because we haven't there's Jesse and Jen. Okay. All right, you guys. On 3. Hold on, I'll look for Victoria. 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3. All right. Thank you so much for your time and all.
Oh my gosh, of course. Thank you guys so much for hanging. And like I said, do not hesitate ever to reach out with any type of question that I can help you with. I will do my dangest to get you an answer. So thank you.
All right. You guys rock tomorrow with our big launch, and then I will see you.
I'm going to answer one thing that I just saw here. Brooke, yes, don't start a page that is, I wouldn't say just Beachbody, but definitely not your personal page. You can just kind of go off of it if you want to, but I definitely would make it more a business page. If that's what you have is just all personal that doesn't pertain to it, it might be smart to start a new one. Honestly, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Yeah, I love that when you guys said, just keep posting. Honestly, keep posting, and I cannot wait to check out your stories.
Oh, bust us tomorrow.
You guys are going to do great. Just go check out my story. I'm trying to think of some of my favorite people to check out, but definitely Foodie's good on there. Foodie Girl Fitness. I love Fatabulous Life. Happy, Healthy, Humble. I'm just looking at the ones that I follow there. Bonnie Ingles, really good. She's about to have her baby, so that's fun to watch. You know, there's just fun ones like that. But go check out stories. That would be before, if you feel like you're kind of a fish out of water, go watch a good amount of stories and get an idea. It will inspire you to do yours, okay?
Okay. Thanks, girl.
Bye, you guys.
Love you guys. See ya.